With the numerous mutants in the Marvel Universe, American fans of the X-Men may have wondered which one best represents their state. It's hard to pick just 50 out of the hundreds, if not thousands of mutants who have fought alongside Charles Xavier to properly represent each particular state. But Screen Rant has gone through the histories of the X-Men, and its many factions to pick the best mutant possible for everyone. Whether picked for their birth state, a notable event involving a mutant, or given a suitable environment for their powers, Screen Rant has assigned each state the best X-Men hero most suited to each area. Some X-Men are perfect for their home states. Some heroes in the X-Men franchise are so intrinsically linked to their place of birth, it's hard to imagine anyone else taking their place. The X-Men's Southern Belle Rogue no doubt deserves to represent her home state of Mississippi. In a similar vein, the dashing and card-carrying Southerner Gambit is the only hero imaginable to be the face of Louisiana. The bubbly and high-energy Jubilation Lee aka Jubilee hails from the East Coast and is the mutant of choice for California. Not only was Professor X born in New York, he established Xavier School for gifted youngsters, making him the only choice to represent the Empire State. Speaking of northeastern states, Emma Frost gets her birthplace of Massachusetts. And when it comes to Illinois, the affable Henry "Beast" McCoy gets to represent his old stomping grounds. While not every A-list X-Men hero comes from every corner of the United States, there are still a number of mutants with origins in several states. For example, Lori Collins, aka Wallflower, was born in Kent, Connecticut, and the avian Beak was one of the few mutants to come out of Cheverly, Maryland, while phasing hero Loa was born in Hawaii. Cyclops may have ties to Alaska, but the future leader of the mutants spent a lot more of his formative years in Nebraska in a group home. Cannonball comes from the Bluegrass State to represent Kentucky, and New Mexico gets its X-Men hero from the multiplying man himself, Madrox. New Jersey is appropriately given its local hero Jersey Devil, while West Virginia gets the mysterious mutant known as Crystal. For North and South Carolina, the coastal states get Destiny and Matthew Malloy, respectively. Other mutants have other connections to certain states. Those aren't the only states that some notable X-Men have local ties to. The troubled New Mutant Squad member Kevin Ford, aka Wither, is one of the few mutants from Georgia. The Sunshine State of Florida should consider itself lucky, or unlucky depending on the point of view, to be the home of Domino. Texas Cowboy Spirit means only Superstrong Cowgirl Outlaw, a frequent ally of Deadpool, could do it justice. The Rocky Mountains of Colorado have the privilege of being represented by local mutant Mirage, while the most noteworthy mutant to break out of Oklahoma was Firefist. She might not be an X-Men character in the traditional sense, but Madam Web is a mutant all the same and a fine hero to be the face of Oregon. Unfortunately, the same cannot be said for Pennsylvania, which is home to the cold and calculating Sebastian Shaw. Rounding out the states with local X-Men are Arizona, Nevada, and Missouri, which is home to X-Men Warpath, Desert Ghost and Sync, respectively. Unfortunately, not every state has a mutant, good or otherwise, to their name. But that doesn't mean there aren't other reasons certain X-Men characters can't represent those places. For example, Wisconsin was home to the Great Lakes Avengers, whose membership briefly included the Merc with a mouth, Deadpool. Asp was once assigned the state of Delaware thanks to the Avengers 50-state initiative. Speaking of that initiative, a similar gimmick for US Avengers made Scarlet Witch the Avenger of Maine, while her brother Quicksilver was assigned Virginia. Boom Boom wasn't born there, but she did attend school in New Hampshire. And while his parents are technically the ones who reside in Washington, it provides a small connection to Angel. The mutant menace Cyber was once placed on trial for murder in Iowa, and the Mutant Liberation Front leader Strife once headed up a compound based out of Arkansas. Other states needed a little help with their hero. The X-Men mutants are indeed numerous, but there are some states that just don't have any sort of connection to a character in the Marvel pantheon. That said, there's no reason the remaining states shouldn't have an X-Men character of their own. For example, the University of Michigan's football team is the Wolverines, as good a reason as any other for Logan to represent the Great Lakes state. Speaking of teams, Tennessee is the home of the Nashville Predators, so why not give that to Logan's recurring nemesis Sabretooth? It's all about college football in Alabama with the Crimson Tide, and Omega Red, another Wolverine villain, is equally red and intimidating. Admittedly, some X-Men might not fit neatly with their state, but with Vermont being the home of Ben and Jerry's, why shouldn't Soft Serve represent it? Same for Aurora, matching the speeds found at Indiana's Indy 500. Some states do have nicknames indicating the most appropriate mutant for them. Rhode Island is the ocean state, making Namor a decent choice. Same for Minnesota, the North Star state. Who gets North Star, obviously. The Dakotas are represented by Rockslide covering the Mount Rushmore state of South Dakota, and the Flickertail state of North Dakota getting the mutant hero Squirrel Girl. Juggernaut's Crimson Gem of Sidorak gets him the Gem State of Idaho, while the friendly Kitty Pryde gets the Equality State of Wyoming. And for lack of a true bee-inspired mutant, the insect-like Tempest is the pick for the Beehive State of Utah. Geography helps round out the state list, such as Kansas receiving Storm due to the high concentration of wild weather in the area. Montana's state animal is the grizzly bear, earning the mutant Grizzly as its X-Men character. Thanks to Ohio being the home of the Rock Roll Hall of Fame, it gets the singer-hero Dazzler, while Iceman Bobby Drake gets Alaska due to his tolerance of icy temperatures. It's hard to select the right mutant for each individual state, but no matter where a fan is in the United States, there's at least one X-Men character that fits their area in some capacity.